before I do this, I just want to give a little bit of background for those people who aren't engine knowledgeable what's going to happen here. In 1912, Cadillac, an inventor, developed a starter, and there's a good reason he did that, is because up until that time, especially women loved those electric cars because this took too much work, right, in the early cars. You'll see how much work it is, but it's really not bad. But the bottom line is, there were electric cars, you may notice, in New York City, 60% or more, I think there were actually 60, it wasn't percent, 60 electric taxis in New York City up in the early 1900s because they were so quiet and nice. Of course, the weight of the cars got bigger, the batteries couldn't handle it, electric cars died. Bottom line is the starter is one of the things that basically killed the electric car, because now you could push a button and it would start instead of having to crank. So what I'm going to do here is I'll do a start, and then I'll offer any of you who want to try it, because you probably never had this opportunity before. But the way it works basically is you have 4 cylinders in here. Each one has a piston. Each one comes up under compression, and that's what you have to do. You have to compress the air-fuel mixture so that when it goes bang with the spark plug, that's going to start the car. Only has to happen on 1 cylinder to get it started. And that's why you can crank once, and hopefully you got the cylinder that's going to start. So that's what we're going to do. My first car was a Model A that I restored, and it backfired on me, but I was fortunate enough to be holding it the correct way, which was not with your thumb around the crank, because right there I'm pulling, and if it backfires, that poor thumb takes a beating. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn the ignition on, and all I've just done there is made it so that when that piston comes up, the spark plug will fire. So the next thing I'm going to do is position this right at, well, let's see. There we go. So what I want to do is do about 180 degrees, compress that 1 cylinder, and hopefully it'll be ready to go. How many times am I going to have to try this? No skirt looking. All right, so what have I done to make this easier? It does have electronic ignition, which means instead of the good old points, it's got what you have in your modern cars today, a little electronic ignition. And I have a higher voltage, basically, coil that sends a little bit extra juice in there. So is there someone, and I'll help you get the feel for this, but is there anybody that'd like to try this? Chuck, you ever crank one?
Yeah, last time you were here.
Anybody else? I love it when a younger guy does it. I'll have to tell you, though, we did this once at iCar, and there were these foreign students who had no idea what a crank was all about. They're all in the high-tech world, right? One guy comes over here, and he does this. I go, no, you're never going to get it to start like that. Then his peers all gave him such grief. They said, okay, you really got to rank it. I've positioned this pretty good for you. So you're going to want to make your thumb, I had bypass surgery 6 months ago. I'm doing really good. So anyway, you want your thumb that way. If you want to use 2 hands, you can. I do, but you're probably good enough you could use 1. I'm going to let you get in position. We haven't turned on the electricity yet, so it won't start. So I want you to feel it.
Doing it from his girlfriend, too.
All right. Yeah, that's right. So that's why we're letting him practice. You saw how much compression there is in there, right? You felt that. All right. Feel it again, and this time try and do a full turn all the way to about here. Remember, you're trying to go in a circle. All right? Go. Yes, that'll start it. All right? Get yourself positioned again. Yep. I'm going to actually... Right there. Okay. Get that. I'm going to turn the electricity on here. We got electricity. Ready, set, go. See? That's the only time you'll ever crank start a car, I guarantee you.